All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our practice this morning. You all have heard the adage that variety is the spice of life. And I'm here to share with you that repetition is the comfort food of life. So we're going to take it back to the basics today and just come back to what feels known and comfortable in the body through our yoga flow, doing some traditional sun A and sun B salutations. But as you approach it with a sense of freshness, newness, making no assumptions, and just going into it as if it's the first time you've gone through a yoga practice before. I'm going to go ahead once again. If you guys can please stay muted, that would be helpful.
Sorry, I lost your video.
I need to keep everyone muted. So if you're having tech issues, just invite you to explore them on your own end and keep muted if you don't mind. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead onto our mat. We're going to start on our backs today. And again, welcome. My name is Erin. I think everyone's familiar to our group, so I'm glad to have you here. But if not, just know that I teach a Vinyasa flow with a lot of mindfulness layered in, which is intended for you to be present for yourself, noticing everything you notice about your wholeness without any judgment. So if you start to notice any judgment creeping in today, just try to breathe it out, come back to a sense of awareness, kind awareness, compassionate awareness, curious awareness. Come onto your back. Take a big stretch, reaching the arms overhead, pressing the heels away from you. Make your body as big as you can make it, as long like Gumby, just being stretched from one end to the other. And then let all that muscle contraction go and invite yourself down to the earth, resting into the stable support offered to you. We always take the first few moments of practice to ground ourselves, to literally feel the spaces where our body connects to a surface. It's an opportunity to place ourselves in this moment of time so we can link up our awareness. So often our mind is preoccupied with thoughts of the past, fretting about the future. There's a lot going on right now. Today in particular marks a very big political and emotionally charged day for many. So see if you can just come right back into the comfort of your own body, just letting that be your focus for your practice today. Noticing each breath as it comes and goes. If a strong thought tries to come in and hijack your attention, just let it come in and breathe it out. There's no need to chase it, grasp it. There's no need to try to push it away or shame yourself for having a thought. We don't have to believe everything that arrives into our mind. Come back to the breath. And then begin to fill up a little bit more with that breath. See what you can do to find some more spaces to touch with the breath. Letting the breath come freely in and out of the nose. And with the next inhale, invite in your intention for this practice today. Maybe it's a word, maybe it's a statement, but it's yours. And it helps to give purpose to every shape, every thought, every breath. Take another big breath in. Open the mouth and let it go. Start to bend the knees, drawing them in toward your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins and roll around a little bit into the back body. Extend both legs up to the sky. Point and flex. Circle through the ankles. Really ground down through your sacrum. And then cross the right ankle over the left ankle and let the legs just drift a little bit to the left, maybe to like 11 o'clock. Not enough to lift the right hip, but enough to feel sensation through the legs. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. And then keeping the ankles crossed, bend the knees and let the knees both drift off to the left side, finding a spinal twist. It's helpful always to keep some blocks, blankets, other props around to help bring the earth a little closer to you. So in a case like the spinal twist, maybe letting the knees land on a block so that you feel rooted while still enjoying the benefit of the twist. Big breath in. Full breath out. We're going to roll those legs back to center, send them straight back up to the sky, uncross the ankles, and just open and close the legs a little bit, creating a little V shape, and then tucking the legs back together. Listening to the hips, noticing any sensations that come about in this abduction, adduction. And then once the legs come back together, cross the left ankle over the right, let both legs kind of drift a little bit to the right, not very far, just far enough to feel something. Big breath in. Full breath out. One more. And then bend the knees, let them drift to the right side for the spinal twist. I like to use my hand on the knees to press down a little bit. Relax the jaw. Turn the head wherever you like, inviting whatever sensation feels good to you right now. Breathe in and breathe out. Beautiful. Bring the knees back to center. Send those legs straight up to the sky once again. And then slowly start to roll up. See if you can roll up and extend the legs out in front of you. Now I like to lift my hips on a little blanket. Just giving that much of a lift helps to ease my hamstrings a little bit, especially early in the morning. So with the legs out in front of you, take a big breath in, lift up nice and tall through the seat, and exhale, fold, reaching toward the toes. We're going to inhale right back up, and exhale, fold once again. Look for a little spinal articulation. Inhale, maybe pressing the heart up, scooping out the curve of the back, and exhale, round through the spine. Two more. Move with your breath. Last one. Big breath in. And begin to fold here, taking a bind with the hands wherever they land. Just noticing how the hamstrings feel. Notice how the back body feels. Bend the knees as much as you'd like to make this more accessible. Remember to invite no judgment into the practice today. We're just meeting ourselves where we are, having some fun. One more breath. And then rise back up, cross the ankles. Let's make our way to a table position. Another great excuse to have the blanket makes a nice padding for the knees. Once you arrive in your table, just check in with the joints, stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, and begin to flow through your cow and cat. So inhaling, release the belly to the earth, press the heart forward, gaze up, and exhale, press into the earth, find that arch in the back once again. Inhale, press forward, and exhale, round. Do this 2 more times, and don't feel confined by this linear movement. Invite any kind of movement into the spine that feels fun and nurturing to the body right now. And then come right back to center. Take your left hand and cross it over the right, reaching over to the right side. And press into that left hip. So your hips maybe sway to the left just a little bit, feeling a nice opening into the left side body. Big breath in, full breath out. One more big breath. And let it go. Nice. We're going to take that left hand back underneath the shoulders. 2 more cow and cats, or funky cow and cats, or drunk cow and cats, or whatever kind of spinal movement feels right to you. Maybe adding some hip movement as well. And then come back to center. Right hand crosses way across to the left side. Press into that right side hip, opening up the right side body. Really take deep breaths, making sure the breaths get into every pocket of this opening. And then back to center. 2 more movements of the spine, side to side, forward, backward, any way that feels good. And then right back to neutral spine. We're going to begin to rise, lifting the hips into downward facing dog. So root down through the toes, lifting the hips, just unpeeling yourself from the earth, nice and slowly. Take a big breath and let a breath go. Step your feet wider than the mat. So maybe take the balls of your feet off the mat and then drop the heels in a little bit. So you're duck-footed, is that what it's called? I can't remember. Not pigeon-toed, the opposite of pigeon-toed. Heels are down, toes are out. And just notice how this feels. Press your chest back to your thighs. Maybe even shorten the dog just a little bit. Walking your hands back to your feet. Breathe into the sensations invited into this. Breathe in and breathe out. One more breath. Using the breath to soothe any discomfort. Walk your hands back to your traditional stance. And then this time do pigeon toe. So draw the toes in toward one another and see if the heels can sink. Now you can keep the feet wide. Internally rotating through the hips here. If you want to walk the hands back a little bit to the feet to bring the heels down, go for it. Notice what's present in this variation of your down dog. Take another breath. Beautiful. Walk your hands back out. Step your feet back. We're going to come into a high plank just as a way to measure out what dog feels just right for us. So from your high plank, shoulders over wrists, slowly start to lift the hips back up to downward facing dog. Bend deeply into the right knee, feeling that left heel reach back toward the earth. And then shift into the opposite side. Bend into the left knee, release the right heel to the earth. And do that a few more times, slow, fast, whatever pace feels right to you. Keep noticing how the weight is also shifted into the palms, the fingers, so that you're not just dumping into the feet. Everything is spread evenly across the body. Nice. And then come right back into your downward facing dog and walk the hands back to the feet. Inhale, halfway lift to a flat back, and exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, unfurling the spine, reaching nice and tall. And exhale, fold once again. Halfway lift, flat back, and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Interlace the fingers. We're going to press the palms to the sky. Take that right foot, cross it over the left, so the pinky toes kiss, and crescent over to the left side. Big breath in. Full breath out. Feel the weight in both heels. One more breath. Beautiful. Reach those palms right back up to the sky, and then release the bind and fold. Yes, with the legs crossed. And just hang, dangle here, inviting a really deep stretch into that left side IT band. Maybe you kind of reach for the earth a little bit, shaking out the shoulders. Maybe there's a block there to help you feel rooted. Breathe in and breathe out. Beautiful. Come all the way back up. Uncross the legs. Big breath in. As you exhale, chair pose. Bring your chest to your thighs. Sweep your arms behind you. And then inhale, back up. Nice, tall, strong, standing position. Exhale, bend the knees, chest to thigh, sweep the arms back, little chair. You can make the breath a little bit more obvious. A little hara breath to get rid of it through the mouth. Inhale up. Exhale. 2 more. What are you inviting in? What are you releasing out? Last one. Big breath in. Beautiful. As you come back up, interlace the fingers once again. Press the palms to the sky. Cross the left over the right. So the pinky edges of the pinky toe touch. Yes. And then crescent over to the right side. Sinking heavily into both heels. Big breath. One more. Beautiful. Come right back up to center. Release the bind and fold. Being present for whatever arises here. Maybe it's a physical sensation that gets your attention. Maybe there's an emotional release happening. Maybe something distracted you. Always come back to the breath. One more breath. Beautiful. Rise all the way up. Step the feet back to kiss. Toe mounts kiss. Big breath in. Bend at the knees and the hips. Beautiful. We're going to do it 3 more times. Open up at the top. Bend and surrender at the bottom. Finding some movement in the shoulders. Letting something go. Beautiful. Rise back up and exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift to a flat back. And exhale, walk the hands out to your high plank. From your high plank, release the knees, bend the elbows, invite a nice long, strong spine to kiss the earth here with your chest. And then rise into your baby cobra. Really sense the shoulders rolling down and back. We're not in a rush to come out of here just yet. Just looking to refine a back bend that feels right to us. So engage through the thighs, press down through the feet. Feel that compression in the lower spine. Feel the heart draw forward. Tuck those elbows a little bit more into the ribs if you can. And maybe it means spreading your hands a little wider or more narrow. Big breath in. Full breath out. One more inhale. And then press your hips back to your heels, child's pose. This is a really humbling pose to remind us that we are rooted and grounded, even if we're not feeling such, we are. So this also reminds us that there's always a time for rest and reflection. And if we're pushing too hard and trying to do so much, if we're trying to keep up with the Joneses or try to please someone or maybe just please our ego, we may forget the importance of this resting shape. So come here whenever you need it during practice. Come here whenever you need it off the mat, when you just need to feel connected to the moment, to your body, to the earth. Maybe it's just your way of saying thank you. Thank you to the abundance offered by the universe. Take a big breath. Let it go. From here, we're going to start to grow back into downward facing dog. Taking your time to arrive there, and we're going to start to move through our sun salutations. Again, maybe you've done 2 million of these in your life. Maybe this is only the 5th one you've ever done. Wherever you are in your yoga journey, treat this with newness and freshness, really noticing your body, noticing your breath, noticing your presence on the mat all along. Take a big breath in. Let something go. Look to the front of the mat. Take a journey, feet to hands. Rise all the way up. And exhale, hinge at the hips, fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Hands to the earth, left foot steps back, low lunge. Then the right foot joins high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. And inhale, scoop up for your back bend. Back to downward facing dog, letting that breath go. And then find a new breath. And let that one go too. Look to the front of the mat, step or hop, feet to hands. Rise up. And let it go. Halfway lift. Hands to the earth, right foot steps back. Find that lunge. Left foot joins, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, scoop back up, release, shine through your heart. Back to downward facing dog. Breath. And release. Look to the front, maybe the right leg leads, finding that lunge on the way up. Rise all the way up. Hinge and fold, let it go, soften through the spine. Halfway lift, firm up into the belly. Hands down, left foot back. Take your time going through those lunges along the way to start opening up the hips. High to low plank. Inhale, lift the heart. And as we repeat this flow, you'll start to become a little bit more intimately connected with a rhythm that serves you based on your breath. Look to the front of the mat. Maybe the left foot leads. Forward fold. Rise up. Exhale, let it go. Halfway lift, long spine. Step the right foot back, low lunge. Left foot joins, high plank. Lower down. And then rise back up. Yes. Back to downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, I'm going to invite you to take 2 more rounds of sun salutations on your own. I'm going to come up and cheer you on. Doing whatever feels right to you. Adding anything. Nice. Beautiful, Nancy. Nice, strong plank, Lee. Gorgeous. Beautiful, Lisa. Nice heart opener there, Deborah. Just Moving so mindfully, no rush. Beautiful inversion, Angie. Nice. We'll meet back in down dog after you've gone through your second round. Beautiful, Mara. Nice and slow with the breath controlled. And you're completely tuned in, just keeping your awareness right there where it belongs, right where you deserve it, right in your own body. Take a big breath in. Let a breath go. On the inhale, right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. And make some little pulses in your left knee, bending and straightening, just building a little heat in that leg. You can dip the knee down as much as you'd like or keep it gentle. And then bring that left leg to straighten, melting the heel down. Bend the right knee, open the right hip. Now notice when you do that, the whole body wants to spin open to the right. Try to draw the right armpit down just a little, inviting more rotation through the spine. Yes. Big breath in. Full breath out. One more breath. And then gently back to three-legged dog. And then step the right foot behind the right wrist. Melt the left heel down, warrior one. So feel grounded, feel lifted. Yeah. Use the hands to adjust the hips. Stacking shoulders over ribs, ribs over the hips. Everything's pointing forward. And then just bounce a little bit into that right knee. Because maybe there's something else waiting for you. Or maybe you went too far and you need to retract a little bit. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms up. Sink the tailbone straight down. Sitting with your warrior. Scanning the body, noticing everything. Driving both feet into the earth. Smile. Take one more breath. And then bring the hands back down to the earth. Step back, high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Taking a flow that serves you. Back to downward facing dog. Breathe. And release. On the inhale, the left heel to the sky, three-legged. And then those little pulses. So while you're lifting the right heel, lifting the left heel, you're lowering the right knee. Little bends, little pulses. Keep the arms and shoulders active. And then straighten the right leg. Draw the left heel to the right sit bone as you open up that hip. But draw the left armpit back down. Soften into the face and the neck. One more breath. And exhale back into your three-legged dog. Take a big breath. And step forward as you let the breath go. Warrior one on the left side. Finding the footing and then rising up when you're ready. Helps to have two lanes of traffic. Perhaps brings a little bit more stable base into the shape. Feel the rib cage lift up away from the pelvis. Feel the spine lengthen with the crown reaching to the sky. Soften the shoulders. Maybe some little pulses in that front thigh. And then get settled right where you like to be for your warrior. What happens when you get still? One more breath. And then hands to the earth, take a flow. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Breathe and surrender, letting it go. Look to the front of the mat, bring feet to hands. Rise up, nice and tall, Urdhva, and then sink into your chair pose. Again, feel free to flex and extend a little bit into the knees and the hips, just kind of bouncing your way into your chair. Notice if it should feel challenging but not painful. If anything's painful, make a change. Slide the shoulders down away from the ears. Sink the tailbone back toward the heels. And breathe. Really notice the richness of the breath coming through this shape. One more breath. And fold. Take a ragdoll here, decompressing in the spine. Notice what happened when you were in that chair with no end in sight. You knew it would end, but you didn't know when. What went through your mind? Was there resistance? Was there something inside of you that said, stop, run? Right? We learn so much about ourselves and how we deal with challenges on our yoga mat. But remember, you always have the breath. You always have the kind awareness through your mindfulness practice that will help you find ease through any challenge. All right, release the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Hands to the earth, step back, high plank. We're going to start to put this all together, taking that sun bee salutation. Make your way back to downward facing dog. So we're not rushing, we're not speeding through anything. We're moving through this sequence, one breath, one movement. Taking it back to basics. Remember, repetition is the comfort food, where variation is the spice of life. Not to say comfort food can't be spicy and tasty too, but it's familiar. There's something very emotional tied up in the comfort food. All right, on the inhale, right heel to the sky. Step the right foot forward, warrior one. Melt that left heel down. Sweep up. And exhale back to the earth. Step back, high plank. Lower down. Bend the elbows. Inhale, extend through the arms. Open the heart. Back to downward facing dog. Breathe. Inhale, left side, left heel high. Left foot forward, warrior one. Rise up. Really feel yourself present here. And then hands to the earth, take a flow. Back to down dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Look forward, feet to hands. Sweep all the way up nice and tall. Sink the hips, low chair pose. And fold. Halfway. Hands to the earth. Maybe you're ready to start jumping back. Not that that's where we're all heading, but that's available to you if you want to start playing with it. Moving through your flow. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, right heel high. Step forward, warrior one. Keeping it simple, keeping it repetitive, but keeping each, go ahead and flow, hands to the earth. Each time it's like a new time, right? Maybe you notice something different. Maybe you do something different. Maybe you make a little tweak. Little tweaks can make really big ripples in the practice. Inhale, left heel. Exhale, step forward, warrior one. Rise up. Hands to the earth. High to low plank. Inhale, heart rises. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward. Step, hop, feet to hands. Up you go. Chair pose. And fold. Halfway lift. Hands to the earth. Take your flow. Remembering to roll the shoulders down and back when you come up with your heart. All right, so here we are. The space where you get to listen to the wisdom of your own body and flow to your own breath. Going through 2 rounds of that Surya Namaskar B. And don't worry if you forget something, just do something that feels right. Find some meditation in the movement. We'll meet in downward facing dog after you're all done. You're doing great. Stay right there, aware of what you're doing as you're doing it. Keep your intention close to your heart. Explore the richness of each breath. Enjoy that last chair. From chair pose, if you're back in downward facing dog, go ahead and hop forward. Rise back up. We're going to come back into chair together again. And then straighten the legs, bring your hands right to your heart. Tuck the thumbs into the sternum. Feel the beat of your heart. Feel the blessings of that rhythm, signaling life, abundance, robustness. Take in all the blessings of this moment. Take a big breath and let it go. We're going to start to build a tree pose. So with, let's say, the left foot grounded in, externally rotate into that right hip, and then slide the foot where you'd like it to be attached to the leg. So maybe you're using your hand to guide it up above the knee up onto the thigh, or maybe you keep it below the knee. Just avoid the knee. It's a little too much stress on the knee in this load-bearing shape. Maybe use that right hand to remind you of rotating open through the hip a little bit more, keeping the left hip stable. And then keep that right hand, maybe the back of the right hand is on the left thigh. I'm sorry, that's not your left thigh, it's your right thigh. Back of the right hand on your right thigh. Left arm reaches up, and let's take a crescent shape over to the right. Shaking the balance a little bit, but using your gaze and kind awareness to help you stay right here, right now. Take a big breath in. Beautiful. Come right back up to center. We're going to cross the right leg over the left leg once again, coming into that cross-legged shape with a pinky toes touch. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, fold and start to bend the knees, bend the knees, bend the knees, and come all the way down into a Sukhasana with that right leg in front. Arms lift up to the sky, and as you exhale, twist to your right, grounding down through the root, through your sit bones, tailbone. Take a big breath in, go a little deeper. Keep that left hand on the right knee, right arm crosses over to the left knee and round the spine. Tuck your chin to your chest. Big breath in, full breath out. All right, on the inhale, we're gonna come back up, and here's your challenge. Place those hands on your head. Little New Year's Eve challenge for you. Simon says, everyone did it anyway. We're gonna come back up to standing without using our hands. Let's see how present you can be here. Any way you can do it. Yay! Take a big breath in and bring your hands right back to your heart. I'll take that on the left side. So root in through the right foot. Start to rotate open through that left hip, placing the foot wherever you like it to be. So if you're feeling a little wobbly today, it's nice to have the toes down to the ground. If you're up for a challenge, bring that foot a little higher up, just not upon the knee. Bring that left hand, the back of the left hand on the thigh or knee to remind you to open. Right arm reaches up and take a crescent shape over to the left. Keeping the gaze steady, the mind free of distractions. Breathing in and out the energy of your intention. One more breath. Slowly come back to a nice neutral spine. Cross the left over the right. Big breath in. Exhale, bow down, hinge. Start to bend the knees. Come to those tippy toes, bringing the booty right on down to the earth. Sukhasana with the left shin in front of the right. Big breath in to lengthen. Full breath to twist to the left. Drop that right shoulder a little bit. Lift the crown. One more breath. And then come right back to center. We're going to stay right here, unless you want to play around a little bit more. We're going to stay right here and do some hip work. So with that left shin in front, go ahead and cradle it like a baby. So one hand on the knee, one hand on the foot. Stir it up a little bit. And then take your left hand now to your right ankle and try to slide the right ankle over to the right or to the left a little bit. Draw the right ankle to the left. And then we're going to place that left knee over the right knee. So coming into a shoelace or cow face pose. Now you may notice if you have a blanket handy, if you sit upon it, whoo, it gets infinitely more accessible. All right. So here we are with the left crossed over the right. You can play around with sliding the heels closer or further. Further away brings more sensation as you externally rotate that left hip. Bringing the heels closer makes it a little bit yummier. Yummy yin, Sunday night. We do things like this and we hold them for a long time. It feels great. So take a big breath in. And as you exhale, start to lean in, bringing your chest toward that top thigh. You may also want to bring the chin toward the chest if it doesn't constrict your breath, giving the neck a little relaxation. And if you wanted to, you could even put a block on the knee and bow down all the way. We won't be holding this quite as long as we do in a yin class, but this is a little appetizer. Take 3 more breaths. Slowly begin to peel the spine back up to neutral. We're going to uncross the legs, keep the right knee bent, and extend the left leg out in front of you or to the side. We're going to rotate into a revolved head to knee. So our left hand is going to come either inside or outside of that left leg. I like to use a block. You can use a block if you want. And maybe reach for a toe bind on the left foot or use a sock or a strap or something to help you make the bind. And the right arm is going to reach up and over. I am not ever able to make the bind, and I know that, and I'm cool with that. What I'm doing is just feeling a great extension from the hip all the way up through the shoulder, crossing over the ribs on that right side. So that's what we're going for here. I like to put my hand behind my head, press one into the other, but if that top hand is perhaps making a bind, take it to your edge. You need to explore your range of motion in order to really get the stress out of this shape that we're looking for. And when I say stress, we're stressing the tissues so that we can keep them healthy. Three more breaths. Slowly come out of this. We're going to take a little back bend, just a gentle back bend since we haven't done a lot of that this practice. The right hand will come down to the earth and just lift the hips up as the left arm reaches to the sky. Two more breaths. And then release back down to the earth. Step both feet out in front of you. Give a little windshield wiper. And then back to Sukhasana with the right leg in front. Lift that leg, stir up that right hip. Reminds me of stirring soup. If anyone has any good soup recipes, send them my way. I love soup, but I'm kind of scared to make it. Probably can't mess it up, but I feel like I would somehow. All right, keep the leg in your left hand. Right hand is going to take the left ankle or the heel and slide it over to the right a little bit, making space for your shoelace, bringing your right knee on top of the left. You know that You can always stuff something underneath here. A block helps. Or if this isn't serving you at all, come into a fire log or come into butterfly shape. Okay. And I am not cueing the arm variation, but you know that that's there if you want to open your shoulders. We're just looking here to get into the hips and the spine a little bit. But you're approaching it with your own intention. So take what you need here. Start to lean in and use a block for your forehead if you'd like. Let yourself soften right into this shape. Relax the muscles. Three more breaths. And then find your way back to neutral spine, really gently. You don't have to rush to get there. Sort of the unfurling often offers a stronger explosion of sensation. So be present for that. And then uncross the top leg, keep the bottom leg bent. We'll go in for that revolved head to knee pose. So your hand, your arm can go wherever you want on around that left leg. Maybe you reach for a toe to bind. That right leg, sorry. I'm getting all my left and right mixed up. Left arm reaches up and over. And try to spin the rib cage, the left side to the left a little bit, bringing that arm out of view. Keep rooting through the left sit bone, reaching up through the shoulder. Three more breaths. And slowly, again, recoiling from that, plant the left hand coming into a gentle back bend as the right arm reaches up, hips press up toward the sky. Two more breaths. And when you're ready, sink the hips back down. We're going to take one more forward fold. Doing a Paschimottanasana just as we did at the beginning of practice. Just noticing if the body feels any different now. So with the legs extended, big breath in, lift up, and exhale, fold, round, reach, surrender here. Draw the chin toward the chest. Feel the tailbone pressing down and back as the crown reaches forward. Three more breaths here in this shape. And then slowly peeling up. Scoot the hips forward if you're not already in the middle of the mat. Make your way onto your back. I'm going to read to you a poem by Donna Folds as you explore some final shapes, final twists, final inversions, any final anything that you need in your body. Let go of something. Let go of something somewhere. Use yoga to become aware, to touch what lies beneath the surface of the skin. Is there tension, longing for release? A knot of fear so deep and familiar that you believe it's part of who you are? Ease into dark corners, locked rooms, unexplored hallways. Gain entry not by force or will, but only by softness. Enter on the wings of breath and turn the key to self-acceptance and let go of something, somewhere. So notice if you're still grasping on to something, an emotion, a belief, and use this last little yogi playground moment to let it go. Taking any counter poses to what you've done, or making sure you've addressed the other side if you've done one side. And then begin to invite yourself down into your final rest, your Shavasana, corpse pose. It's the death of your physical asana practice, but a birth of the rest of your life. An opportunity to take the lessons that you learned about yourself, the discoveries, curiosities with you off the mat into your world. So maybe put on that extra layer, maybe support your body in a way that feels really yummy. Yeah, turn the lights down low if you have that option, or an eye pillow or a sock. It's nice to, if you have a bag of dry beans, slide them inside a sock. That makes a really nice DIY pillow. And then maybe drop a few pieces of lavender on top, or drops of lavender. Maybe too much to ask for in this exact moment in the practice, but for next time. So come on down to your back. Let the body unfurl, really relaxing into the space. Feel the earth supporting you once again. Take a big breath into the whole body and let the breath go. Allow yourself to be here now. And just like comfort food for your body is this asana practice, comfort food for your soul is the Guest House by Rumi, which I will share with you once again. This, being human, is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Feel the next breath filling your entire being. And open the mouth and let it go. Invite some movement, some stretching to the body. Roll over to one side, sensing the newness of this moment. Roll up to a comfortable seat. Having the hands find one another, palms resting in the sternum. Take a moment to honor yourself for showing up for your practice today. Thank you so much. Namaste. Appreciate you all being here. I thank you very much, and I hope to see you again soon. I just posted a bunch more free classes coming up. Check them out on my Instagram at Eat Yoga Drink or my webpage at also eatyogadrink.com. Hope to see you tomorrow night for free happy hour yoga at 5:30. And Yummy Yin is coming back on Sunday, $10 for an hour-long yin class. I would love, love, love to see you all and hear how the practice serves you, helping you get to sleep and just feel like you're ready for whatever comes. So thank you.
Is that 7:30 or is it
7:30? Yeah, on Sunday night. The Yummy Yin series until February is 7:30 on Sunday nights.
Yep.
Thanks, Ange. Thanks, Francis. Thanks, Lisa, Mara, Kathleen.